Today's episode of the Bitcoin Show is brought to you by Mt. Gox and the Thank You Economy book and carpediem.com. Hey everybody, welcome to the Bitcoin Show. Today we have several things going on. So many things are going on, it's like crazy. We're taping several shows today, in fact. But one of the things we're going to do is we're going to start a new program we're calling the Bitcoin Fire Hydrant Free Money Giveaway. Okay, so get your Android or your smartphone with the barcode reader ready and aim it at your screen if you're watching live or even recorded, because if those people are watching live are too slow, you might be able to pick this up even on the recording later. But anyway, get your scanner ready, aim it at the screen, and when you see a QR code, you're going to get free money. So we're gonna have a QR code displayed on the screen live, which is going to be a Mt. Gox voucher code. And if you don't know how to redeem that, go to mtgox.com, create a free account if you don't have one already, and then you do funding options, add funds, Mt. Gox redeemable code. You'll paste that redeemable code right into that box and hit redeem. If you have the app for Android, there's a redeem code button right on there, so you can scan it and hit redeem even faster, and you'll beat the other guys. So whoever redeems it first, it can only be redeemed once, but we're giving away free Bitcoin. We'll be doing that several times throughout the show, so keep watching. And this is a new feature we're gonna do every day. We're gonna give away Bitcoins every single day. So keep your phone aimed at the screen. You have to watch like this, all right? But anyway, today's guest is Yifu Guo, co-founder of Bits.com. And we have major news about tablets for everybody, but especially for Bitcoin, so hang in there. Hey, welcome. We're back. So today's guest is Yifu Guo. Yifu, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Bits.com, you did a presentation recently, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, so give us the executive summary. What was it about?
Well, other than talking about, I'm going to skip over how our monetary system is terrible and how Bitcoin is the next big thing. But majorly, see, Bitcoin has a problem, and what that problem is, it's designed for a future that's not here quite yet. It's designed for a future where internet accessibility is widely available, and internet accessible devices are cheap. And, you know, a few months ago, I went to the Bitcoin conference here in New York and heard what everyone's working on and thought, well, the software will come, right? I mean, it has to, but what about the hardware? Like, if you're going to become a cashier at some restaurant, you got to learn how to use the cash register. And with that in mind, and I began my quest to find, and what I encountered was that, well, there are cheap tablet solutions over in China, and they're already now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what do you think is the solution to that?
Well, I feel that, like, it has to be compelling enough. I mean, like, Amazon Kindle Fire just recently released, like, you know, the $199 reader that's been selling big. But I think that you could go even cheaper than that. Mm-hmm. And what I found out is that we always knew that, you know, because China makes everything, that it's definitely going to be cheaper over there. But the question is, how cheap was cheap? And I found out that, well, you could get a very impressive spec of a tablet for a fairly little amount of money, say under $150 or maybe even under $150, mm-hmm. and that could, you know, facilitate as a point of sale system with a customized Android ROM, and it will be, you know, just good as for everybody.
Right.
Now, even if you're not into Bitcoins, I feel that these tablets are, you know, they really sell themselves due to the fact that they're so cheap and versatile, and I feel that a lot of people will want one because that's what people need at the moment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Switch over here to my screen, Ed. And I want to show you, this is an article from Computer World. Actually, let me interrupt us just for 1 second and tell you that we just gave away some Bitcoins while you were talking. There was a QR code on your screen, and that giveaway was brought to you by Coinbits.com. Coinbits.com, Bitcoin News Bits. Check it out for all the latest news on Bitcoin. Anyway, if you were quick enough, you just got some Bitcoins. All right, so thanks to Coinbits.com. Now, back to this. Computer World article about tablets. They're talking about tablets priced under $100 with Android 4.0. You were saying that's obviously, it says in China, so it's under $100, maybe $99 if you're in China. But this technology, delivered in the U.S., what is it going to cost?
Well, I don't know, shipping plus whatever the profit margin people want to do, and that's the thing. Like, if you look at it, all corporations do is they are the middleman essentially. Like, they don't make the stuff; they package it, they rebrand it, and they sell it to consumers like us.
Mm-hmm.
And in this whole presentation, one of my point is to providing potential peer to peer, and that's one of the goals where removing all the middlemen, you're removing the corporations, you're removing the redistributors, and you're going directly to the manufacturers, people with the things that you want. Like, you need somebody's skill set or whatever. In the future, where banks are replaced by bitcoins or by you and people like you, and you can pay everything and anything with bitcoins,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what essentially we're trying to lead into this by building infrastructure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this goes hand in hand with what we're doing here. I'm working on a thing we call Bitcoin Promote, which is two things. One is liquidity, making it easier to buy Bitcoin and sell Bitcoin, and also the merchant services, which I call BitcoinSolutions.com, where we're actually on Saturdays. There's a group of us volunteers who are going door to door, merchant to merchant, and selling them on the idea of accepting Bitcoin and why they should. We're going to try and build a community. I was telling you last night we're going to try I'll call it Bitcoin villages or something, but a community of neighborhoods of that may have 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 businesses of all kinds of businesses that accept Bitcoin. And one of the challenges that we have is that the cashier has to have internet access. They have to have an app, a browser, or whatever. At the very minimum, they have to have internet with a browser. And so that's where you guys come in with this idea of a real lightweight, affordable tablet, and it has Wi-Fi, right? Or you can plug in a USB internet.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's the cool thing about generic OEM-based tablets that they have these extra features such as HDMI out and USB host, which essentially allows you to plug in USB devices such as a USB to Ethernet adapter or a mouse and keyboard or a USB hub, and generally allows you to do a bunch of stuff because underlying Android is Linux, and Linux is quite supportive when it comes to things like that.
Rock solid, reliable, and support, and free open source, of course. So it's very transparent. You know what's going on. You don't have to worry so much about viruses and things.
Right, exactly. And speaking about connectivity, and that's actually the second part and stage of the whole thing. We have the presentation I gave was on 3 technologies. One of them is the Bitcoin, the other one's the tablet. The third one I'll quickly mention is the meshnet. The meshnet essentially is an ad hoc wireless mesh network that's going to be owned and operated by the people and not the corporations. And effectively, and what a really interesting idea that has been talked about is the fact that when you join such tower network, there's going to be a hosted Bitcoin wallet. And when you provide bandwidth to the meshnet, Bitcoin come into your wallet. And when you leech bandwidth from the meshnet, Bitcoin trickles out of your wallet. And that creates a whole self-sustaining ecosystem where you don't, where bandwidth essentially becomes the value. And Bitcoin facilitates that, and they're both peer-to-peer systems, so they work very well together. And I feel that is the way of the future, especially the way we're progressing now. And that's another sector of the infrastructure. So the tablets solve the Bitcoin's problem of connectivity, and then the meshnet solves the tablet's problem of connectivity.
Okay, right.
And by bringing all these 3 things together, it's a pretty bright future. And that's what we see here at BitSyncom.
A synergistic environment, ecosystem. A bit synergy. So the mesh network, see that was a new concept to me, but it makes perfect sense because everybody has excess bandwidth. You're paying for that super speed internet access when you're not even home, and it's just being wasted. So in a sense, it's just not being used. So why not share it? And then while you're sharing it, you're actually earning Bitcoin. And then whenever you use it, use other people's access, then it costs a little bit, but probably you'll end up with more. Kind of like a file sharing ratio on a peer-to-peer, like a BitTorrent site or something like that, where it keeps score of how much you take and how much you give. And as long as you're giving at least as much as you're taking, you're all good.
Right, precisely. Right. And another thing is load balancing. It's effectively load balancing the entire network. When you're not using the internet, somebody else might be using it, and vice versa. So really, you only maybe need one internet connection per whatever the radius block a tower could cover.
Yeah.
And that would be okay. You don't have to like every household paying $69.99 or even like $99.99 for a month for just internet and maybe television, which ironically runs on your internet line. So it's kind of like you don't need all these things.
I know.
And I feel that like a lot of people aren't aware. And another problem we have with technology has bias, and people don't really understand that. And I feel that if you want to learn Bitcoin properly or understand it, you have to understand the system that comes before it, because every system is built on top of each other.
Right.
Like Bitcoin is built on top of the internet, the central banking, and all this other stuff that sort of are the fabric of our society that we just kind of use and are very comfortable with, but don't get. It's like losing to house mortgages. We never really understood it when we signed it, and things like that happen. And I feel we should really be educated in the sense, and that's what this whole another movement about this project is about. It's about transparency. It's about education and just bringing to everybody the data they need to understand what they're seeing.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the mesh network makes so much sense because there are, we're paying for internet at home, and obviously we're not there all day, but there are other people that are there that could be using it. And meanwhile, we here at the office, we've got 35 megabit up and down through fiber and all that. But when we're not here, there are residences around here that could be using it, or whatever. So
exactly.
It makes so much more sense to share like that.
Yeah, limiting waste. It's very green. I mean,
right,
so
exactly.
It's totally cool.
The only ones who are not going to like it are the obviously the
the ISPs. But that's the thing, that is the future. The future is where your internet providers and banks have been replaced by you, and people are like, that is.
Well, this will drive the cost down.
I feel
it's competition.
The plus is much greater than the globalized economy, where you're not trusting a corporation, you're trusting an anonymous entity, you're trusting your neighbor. Like you could go out and have your drinks with your ISP, for all that I care. And I think you should. That's how you build communities. Good communities and good neighbors bring good things.
Right. Right. And more competition is always better. We've got this problem of everything consolidating into, 5 companies to 2 companies to 1 company, and monopolies.
Right. Antitrust laws don't really work.
Yeah, it's really a problem. We need competition. So, all right. So back to the I want to talk about the tablet. Although that's really. Oh wait, one more thing about the mesh network. So you're talking about a tower, and how far does this signal reach? Is it Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it's Wi-Fi. I mean, it really depends on what the antenna we're using. But currently in the city, if we're really looking for places with high elevation. Because especially in Manhattan, you're looking at 20, 40 feet of concrete, and that's not very good for single reception, no matter where you are, what kind of antenna you use.
Right.
But in theory, on a fairly open field, right? On a fairly open field, we're looking at maybe 5 kilometers radius.
Wow.
5 miles, perhaps 3 to 5 miles. That's very good. And then maybe even 20 miles point to point, or even higher than that, depending on what equipment that we're using. But they're fairly cheap now. It has finally come to the point. A few years ago, if we were to do this would be practically impossible, simply because the cost would be enormous. But now these commercialized thing has become cheap and mass manufactured in China again. And so we could actually just buy them for maybe $50 to $100, and they would suit our needs. And people that's not so technical could also just get these things and put them together and just join the meshnet. They could just contribute, which is a very nice peer-to-peer thing again, and that's why this is great.
Do you need any kind of a license to broadcast that signal that far? Is that regulated in any way?
I really don't believe so, because we're running on the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, and that is all commercial routers are licensed with that. They come with license, so it's there's no laws stating that you can't have a mesh network, have a wireless network bigger than whatever miles, because people have been trying to break that. That there are articles about people getting these huge array antennas trying to hit Wi-Fi networks over 400 kilometers. If there's laws against that, then I guess
they wouldn't be
doing it, right?
Okay.
But maybe there will be laws against this if these big ISPs got enough lobbies to do this stuff.
If it gets abused, yeah. Okay, cool.
That is something you have to worry about.
That's interesting. Another fascinating, evolving technology like Bitcoin. Now, I want to talk about these tablets again. Bring this up on the screen, Ed. So this is just a prototype example of one. But then now these are tentative specs that you sent me, right? These are you've got, if I can just read it out. Processor is Allwinner A10 1 to about 1 to 1.5 gigahertz, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
GPU is Mali 400, 512 megabytes of RAM, 8 gigabytes flash. Expansion memory up to 32 gigabytes micro SD memory card. It's a 7-inch screen.
5 touch, yeah.
TFT.
Wi-Fi, G sensor.
800 by 480. 5-point touch. What's a 5-point touch?
5-point touch is 5-point multi-touch.
Oh, okay, on the screen. Okay.
You put your whole hand, yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
G sensor, Wi-Fi 802.11b and G. Not N. Not N. But these.
Not N.
These are subject to change, right? These specs?
No, well, see the thing is that's what's currently available now because prototyping availability is immediate, really, and that's we're hoping to do a control group prototype project. Working on.
Okay, so these are the specs of the immediate prototype, and they're gonna keep improving. You got a front and rear camera, right? Or front 0.3.
Yeah, the front is a VGA camera, and the back is a 2.0.
2 megapixel. On the back. Oh, you meant back. You said black, but you meant back. OTG support, video output, mini HDMI. Wow.
Yeah, GPM HDMI.
And it's gonna ultimately have Android 4.0.
That's correct. It runs Gingerbread. It runs Honeycomb.
Even the prototypes are gonna have the ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, I got it running on it, but it needs some work.
Needs some work. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming.
Coming
That's
soon.
important. Like
RSN, as we say, real soon now. Video 2160p, and the battery is 3200. What is that? Microamps. 3.7 volts. Size and weight. So it's 350 grams is the weight.
Yeah, it's about 170 grams to be honest.
7-inch screen. All right.
I actually hated the thing because somebody was curious.
And what's your best guess that this is going to start out at retail from you guys?
I don't really know, depending on how much everybody else is going to be selling. Because I know I'm not the only person who's getting access to this thing. But I would say that it's going to be about more or less $150. That's what I'm aiming.
About more or less $150.
Yeah. It's going to be less. It's either
150 or less.
It's not going to be more.
Not more.
And that's the all this project that like when I first talked to Roger, I met with about it, that the whole thing is this project doesn't have a monetization aspect.
It has a what?
And to make a lot of money. Like that's not worth it.
It's not about making a lot of money. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So it's about bringing a
thing out and providing infrastructure for the future to come.
Yeah. Okay. So your audio is breaking up a little bit, but let me paraphrase what you said and see if I'm right. So what you're saying is it's not about trying to make a lot of money and get rich. It's about bringing a solid infrastructure to the Bitcoin world and for everything. This is an Android tablet that can be used for absolutely anything. It just so happens that it's also the perfect tool for Bitcoin clients, Bitcoin apps, for point of sale, for accepting
really
Bitcoin.
The software is going to be designed for Bitcoin experience in general.
Right.
Like the ROM is going to be customized so that it provides a very nice Bitcoin experience to the users. That's another main goal when it comes to the software.
So you're doing custom software to make the Bitcoin user experience really smooth.
To customize the Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich.
And easy.
That is correct.
Cool. How far along are you with that custom software?
Well, I mean, I got the code and kernel to compile, which is fine. It's a matter of doing UI design, really. User experience is key, right? We have it has to be simple as 1, 2, 3. It has to be a 3-click and go, right?
Right.
It has to be, maybe perhaps the home screen has to have these things such as QR codes, quick transactions, scanning, and all these ideas that we're looking into and going to be doing user testing on.
Right. Well, now the Mt. Gox mobile app for Android is already very easy to use.
Yeah, sure, of course. But you see, app, like it could be totally included on this tablet. And another thing is that like over at BitSyncom we have a pet peeve, and that is not to introduce anybody to Bitcoins through a third-party service. So we have to include some kind of like client that natively downloads the blockchain or something, whether it be a Bitcoin J based or or Bitcoin JS based, or some sort of system where it's like you are connected to the network. You are part of the peers
directly. Yeah.
It is your choice to choose Mt. Gox, Trader, or any other exchange. That is not of our concern. Concern is do things first and provide things easy, like to give people the option rather than forcing them onto Mt. Gox. And I'm not saying, and I do agree that Mt. Gox is really easy to use, and perhaps it is currently the best mobile application for Android out there. But it's not a native client.
It's not pure Bitcoin, right? So, what do you think? I mean, I know you may not know the answer to this, but do you think that or predict that the main official Bitcoin client will come out with an official version for Android?
I'd say it's tough to say.
But either way, there are other developers doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Bitcoin J is already full-blown in Java, and it's very easy to port to Android. In fact, there's several people who have already done so. And I think, and because those clients are also open source, I see no reason to support their development or simply use them because they work fine. Like such as the Bitcoin wallet application on Android market currently. That's the open source Bitcoin J implementation, and it downloads the blockchain. I mean, it's a little bit slow because the blockchain is, we deal with all those issues that's inherent of the net. But a lot of software people is, solving that, such as Stefan Thomas, and everybody at the Bitcoin consultancy and my Google, they're all looking, and a lot of the major Bitcoin developers that are looking into these software issues. Like I said, like software is going to come, right? But what about the hardware? That's the path I chose to facilitate the infrastructure.
Yeah, well, this is brilliant because it'll give users.
When these software come, I will be ready, or we will be ready.
Right, because you have the platform. So this will give users the hardware platform that they can use a full-blown 100% Bitcoin network client. They'll be able to use the Mt. Gox app and any other apps that come along.
Precisely. We see no reason to reinvent the wheel, and the Android market's perfectly for this. So, and the cool thing is that everybody already use Android. Android is not a new thing. We're not selling them a completely new, ecosystem or app sphere. They could use all their old stuff on this just fine. They could do their mail. They could browse. They could watch YouTube.
So they can do Angry Birds.
This good tablet that just so happens to run Bitcoin.
Yeah, they'll get the so it's basically just like a great big Android phone. They already know how to use it. They can use their Angry Birds and their whatever it's called, check-in, whatever those apps are, whatever apps they use already, they can access the full Android market and buy apps just like any other Android device. Right?
That is correct. They will have the full access to the market.
I want one. I want one next week.
Achieved already, actually. Yeah.
I want my hands on one of these right away. And this is what we're going to use when we're going door to door to these businesses. We're going to show them if you don't already have a browser near your cash register. This is it. You can use a tablet. You can just have it sitting there. You can even mount it on a bracket for security or whatever. There's so many ways you could do it, and you could either do it through Wi-Fi or you could plug in a USB for your internet so that's locked down solid. This seems like a really, really slick way to get into it for point of sale as something that they can use immediately right now today, but also for absolutely everybody who wants a tablet. I want a tablet just to watch movies in bed or whatever, do your email, on the bus, whatever. So everybody wants a tablet. It's a Wi-Fi ice cream sandwich Android 4.0, top of the line specs for less than $150, we'll say. So this is brilliant. Okay, so I've got to take a break right now, and we want to thank our sponsors, obviously, who bring us to you every day. And did we do the second giveaway yet? We didn't. Okay, well, let me know when we do. Keep your Android phones or whatever you've got. Even if you have an iPhone with a barcode scanner, you can scan the screen live, and then you take that code you're going to get, and that's a Mt. Gox redeemable code. So you have to go to your Mt. Gox account, go add funds, add Mt. Gox redeemable code, paste it in, and click redeem. And if you're the first one to redeem it, it's free money for you. Just for watching, just for hanging out with us. So, and also be sure and send feedback. You can send feedback to us live, even while we're on the air, if you send a message to feedback@onlyoneTV.com. Okay, and maybe we'll get to your questions while we're here. So, let's see. Okay, so we want to thank our sponsors. That's what we're doing. So, first, obviously, Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox, mtgox.com. I just had somebody call me like right before the show and say, I want to buy some Bitcoins. I said, well, set up an account on Mt. Gox, and we did that in 2 seconds. You just go to mtgox.com, Mt. Gox we call it, and click the big green sign up button, and it literally takes 2 seconds to create an account. And you can buy Bitcoins online from the comfort of your home or wherever you have a browser. It's very, very easy. And they have so many ways. They have like 26 plus currencies they deal with directly now. And so easy to get money in and out. And then in many, many, many different ways. They have obviously the vast majority of the market share, somewhere between 80-90% of the market share. And they have this amazing feature of the Mt. Gox redeemable code. If I have Mt. Gox and you have Mt. Gox, I can actually just send you this code, and it immediately transfers either US dollars or Mt. Gox, Bitcoin directly into your account. See, as a Mt. Gox account holder, you have 2 balances. You have a Mt. Gox US dollars balance and a Bitcoin balance. So they're 2 separate things. So I can send you one or the other. And let's see, what else? So they charge very, very minimal fees, and you can buy and sell Bitcoins anytime, anywhere in the world from the comfort of your own home. Many ways to get it in and out. And there are also other add-on services like bitinstant.com where you can go and get money in there like within like an average of maybe 15 minutes, like crazy fast with a cash deposit and so on. So anyway, mtgox.com, we thank them for their support. And obviously, they're the creator of the Mt. Gox mobile app for Android, which we've been talking about, that's full-featured and amazing. So we thank them for their support. Also, the Thank You Economy book. ThankYouEconomyBook.com is where you can check it out. It's by New York Times bestselling author Gary Vaynerchuk, and it's his new book about social media and how to use social media, how to do it right, to promote your business, your brand, your whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you want to promote using social media, and how to really leverage that power that's there to bring your customers to your business in an old-fashioned way of customer service like your grandparents used to experience from the corner store. A real personalized, hand-holding, excellent service kind of thing, not just spamming people. That's what most people do. They do it all wrong. And so it teaches you how to leverage this new technology to bring back old-fashioned values and an excellent customer experience. And then you're not just selling stuff, you're building relationships with customers. So anyway, this is the Bible. Gary Vaynerchuk is brilliant. I mean, he's a young guy, but he's a genius. And this is his second best-selling book. So check it out, thankyoueconomybook.com, and we thank them for their support of the Bitcoin Show, as well as Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem is CARPEVM.com, CarpeVM.com, video marketing, web video marketing. If you don't know anything about video and you want to market something, you have a website, everybody does, right? And you want to create your own video to do a presentation, to sell a product, to make a point, to do a demonstration, whatever it is, it's marketing, right? It's video marketing. They're the experts. Carpe Diem. They accept Bitcoin, of course, and so check them out. Carpe Diem. And they'll help you make a real professional video for your website, for your marketing presentation. All right? So we thank our sponsors for supporting us. And actually, while we were doing the sponsors, apparently, we're picking random times. It's a random minute created by random.org number generator. And so I was actually right in the middle of our sponsors that we gave away our second free money giveaway. So that one was brought to you by Mt. Gox mobile app. So see, there it is. It's actually Mt. Gox Live, mtgoxlive.com/mobile, which is the Mt. Gox mobile app we've been talking about. And that free money giveaway was brought to you by the Mt. Gox mobile app. So there you go. You got some free money. How's that? Boy, we got all that done in one little break. So all right. So back to this. Tablets priced at less than $150, and top of the line specs. This is like 3 generations ahead of something like the Samsung Galaxy Tab that everybody's talking about, right? This is like really, really cutting edge. How much faster is this processor than a Samsung Galaxy Tab, for example? How much faster is this processor? Can you hear me?
Yes. Excuse me?
Oh, I said how much faster is this processor in this tablet going to be compared to a Samsung Galaxy tab?
I would say maybe 20-30%, probably. It's a fair estimate.
20 to 30%?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's good. All right.
I mean, it's really the price that's really compelling about it. The specs isn't too crazy because it is a modified chip of the Cortex 8. You know, it's not completely new, but what they really did is they hit a sweet spot by combining a really fairly cheap but still powerful, you know, CPU with a GPU that's very good.
Mm-hmm.
So they no longer sacrifice one for the other, and they have this. That's why this chip is called, you know, the code name All Winner, right?
Mm-hmm.
All Winner because it has all these. It doesn't cut too many corners, and it builds this very round chip that's fairly good for just all these things, and it doesn't. And according to, you know, online reviews of this particular prototype, everybody's saying the battery life is also really good, and it's an unheard of really good battery life, which means we're looking at like 8 to 10 hours on video play.
8 to 10 hours on media play. What is it in just standby?
No, on video. Standby is much longer.
What is it like? What would it be on standby?
I don't know. I could give you like, you know, factory advertisement numbers, but I never go with those.
No. Well, if it's 8 to 10 hours on media play, it's got to be 2 or 3 times that.
On video. I'm talking about video here.
Yeah, it's got to be like 2 or 3 times that. Just if it's just sitting there on standby.
Yeah. Just by sheer estimating like that, yes.
Wow.
I would say you could probably stand it off for like half a week without it losing power.
Yeah, that's great. That is really slick.
Yeah, totally. Battery has always been a big thing when it comes to these cheaper tablets because that's what, in my opinion, a lot of people complain about. But from what I've seen and just been playing with, this battery is truly impressive.
That's like, what's the resolution look like on the screen? Like compared to the brightness and everything?
Honestly, it's like when you hear the numbers, they're not that impressive. But the screen looks much better in person.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be this nice.
Wow, amazing. That is cool. So now I know you're just getting prototypes arriving now, and these haven't actually officially even been released yet. But you've got prototypes coming. Like if somebody wanted to order one of these from you, can they do pre-orders? Are you taking pre-orders?
Not exactly at the moment because I need to finish. I'm really backed up after this presentation because I attracted a bunch of interesting and people who are like fairly interested at this project, and because it's you know 3-directional and all that. So I wanna set up the site, get through with the proposal and stuff, and hopefully raise some money on Kickstarter to do this correctly, and so I could just start bringing them become sort of like, you know, the local Chinese outlet for these things, or any other electronic technology that I can simply get contacts for, and you know, that will facilitate growth over here, without the need to pay through a third party because I will be here.
Yeah, that's the part I forgot to mention is your Kickstarter. You're creating a proposal for Kickstarter, a Kickstarter campaign, I guess they call it, and soon that will be online on Kickstarter, and people can donate to this project, which is going to help facilitate, and also there's all kinds of rewards and bonuses that they get back for doing that.
That's just part of, you know, that's just part of Kickstarter. That's
part of Kickstarter.
Their, you know, model is.
Okay, for their business model and stuff. So, but anyway, they can donate to this project, and as a result,
I'm also going to obviously open up a Bitcoin donation as well. You know, so it's not only mainstream U.S.
Yeah, dollars and Bitcoins. It's all accepted.
Hasn't taken over to that extent yet, but that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to build infrastructure. So when the time comes that people are ready to be like, oh, let me just get on this Bitcoin thing, it has to be easy. That's the whole like idea when I talk to everybody about Bitcoin.
Has to be easy.
You know, it has to be really easy. It has to be like 3 steps. It has to be less than 3 steps to get Bitcoin from, you know, your money or however the method you're purchasing is to get Bitcoin. It has to be less than 3 steps.
That's what I always say. It has to be as easy as grandma's toaster or as easy to use as an elevator. It has to be intuitive.
Precisely. And this is how we get there. By giving out these Bitcoin-enabled tablets and by building these Wi-Fi tablets. I mean, they're obviously facilitate other things as well, but majorly Bitcoins would be very beneficial for this project as well as for Bitcoin itself.
Yes, exactly. So we did 2, right? And we already announced that. Okay, you did 3. Oh, we did the 3rd giveaway. So I missed it. Did you? If you weren't watching live, maybe you missed it. But we did the 3rd cash giveaway, Bitcoin Cash, that is, and also brought to you by Mt. Gox mobile app. So be sure and check out the Mt. Gox mobile app. It's mtgoxlive.com/mobile, and we just gave the 3rd Bitcoin giveaway. So keep that barcode scanner on the screen. We're going to do these 3 times each episode, every episode of the Bitcoin Show. So you're going to have to watch live. We'll be announcing whatever time it is that we're taping live on my Twitter feed, actually. If you go to twitter.com/Bruce Wagner, all one word, twitter.com/Bruce Wagner, and I'll announce when we're going to do the next live taping. And you can watch live and then scan the screen with your phone and redeem those codes. Get some free Bitcoins. Anyway, so back to this. Okay, so the Kickstarter campaign, you're going to be able to donate dollars, Bitcoins, PayPal, whatever, and to the campaign. And this is going to help facilitate all of this infrastructure building,
yeah, totally. There's going to be a site that I'm going to talk more in details about what exactly that needs to be done. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing, we at BitSync has always been very keen on providing transparency of what we do, and we feel that is the right way to do things. So we're gonna tell you exactly what the steps and how we're gonna spend this money to do this, as well as to build these towers and just give out information.
Mm-hmm.
Give out information, give out whatever that needs for this thing to facilitate. And we feel that when you take money out of the equation, things become a lot easier because you're not trying to make a profit that you don't have to worry about return and all that.
Right. So obviously they're not going to be able to order these tablets in time for Christmas or anything, but they maybe they could give gift cards and say redeemable for one. Is it going to be branded BitSendCom? Is that the brand?
It's currently codenamed under Uplink.
Is what?
It's currently codenamed under Uplink. That's what these tablets are called in terms. They're called the Uplink.
Okay, so maybe people can give a gift card at Christmas and say this is redeemable for a tablet when it's ready. But
I was actually, the current plan is to get all things done ready before the end of the year and launch the Kickstarter at 2012.
2012.
Early 2012. Get it rolling, and then hopefully by Q2 of next year, these tablets will be ready for order from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we're going to do it.
By then, at the latest. It's a 7-inch tablet.
The thing is that if you don't do it quick enough, then better pros will come out.
Yeah, they'll be buying them at the drugstore.
Yeah.
So,
wait on.
But with these specs and this price point, you're going to be competing directly with companies like Samsung and Acer and whoever is right. And
that's the cool part is because they have to make a profit and I don't, and that's why I'm ultimately going to win because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the thing is going to be open source as well, so I'm going to lead everything.
Right.
So there's no point for everybody else. That's why everybody's switching to CyanogenMod, like CM7 for ROMs on the cloud because open source is better and they update quicker and they get the latest stuff and they're just as stable as the official ones, if not more stable.
I love that.
Without the stuff that they don't want, and I feel that it's listening to the people, right? If you're and this is what peer-to-peer is all.
Exactly. They have to make a profit, and I don't. And open source is better. Yeah, this is the future for sure. Yeah. So people are going to have super, super powerful high-end tablets. These are basically going to be like, I don't know, $800 tablets that they're going to get for less than $150 effectively.
Because branding, let's say you'd be saving like $300 or more.
Yeah, easily, right? And then, but so for like less than half the price at least, they'll have a super high-end tablet for less than $150. This is going to be brilliant. You better order a lot of them.
Yeah.
Start small, make sure they all work well, work out all the bugs, and then order more and more and more, ramp it up, right?
Like, we're going to have software team working on this stuff. And we're going to be testing before they ship. Obviously.
Yeah.
They're not going to come with whatever factory, Android that comes out of the factory. It's going to be ours. I have the option to choose a Bitcoin-oriented tablet or a regular tablet that's just customized for better usage. or a full Bitcoin flowing experience, which has all the merchant applications or all the things that make it really easy and stuff like that. That's what we focus on after we securing the tablet and the features we're looking at is the contact manufacturer and getting NFC near field communication on the computer. We feel that's a big high protocol that's needed since everyone else is doing digital wallet like Google's doing it, Facebook's going to start doing it, and they're going to be doing it within next year. So we have to either be as good as them or better.
Right.
That is the way to compete.
As good or better with near field communications and all these new technologies, including in the new versions. That's really, really exciting. So this is going to be the perfect appliance that people can use for Bitcoin transactions. Well, anybody can use it. The customers can use it too, obviously, but the point of sale as well. So it could just be the universal Bitcoin tool.
It's both for the consumer and the producer.
And the merchants and the right, exactly. So slick. So I know that in our project where we're going, like I said, we're going to be going door to door in Manhattan, and we're going to be soliciting merchants and trying to convince them of why they should accept Bitcoin. This will be the hardware, of choice right now that we can.
At a time.
Yeah, exactly. An excellent solution. Well, thanks for joining us today. We have to do this again as soon as you have a new announcement. Well, as soon as the prototypes come in,
right? Definitely.
We can actually play with it.
We'll be doing some demos once I get it.
Yeah, then come on in and we can demo it and show it on the camera. That'd be awesome. All right, thanks for the update, Yifu. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks.
All right, we'll do it again. All right, thanks guys for joining us. We'll see you next time. Hope you got your free money. If nobody claimed it, you can get it on the recorded version. You never know. Maybe people were too slow. They weren't prepared. So anyway, watch us every episode. We're going to be giving away free Bitcoins. Ciao. Until next time. World. Actually, let me interrupt us just for 1 second and tell you that we just gave away some Bitcoins while you were talking. There was a QR code on your screen, and that giveaway was brought to you by Coinbits.com. Coinbits.com, Bitcoin News Bits. Check it out for all the latest news on Bitcoin. Anyway, if you were quick enough, you just got some Bitcoins. All right, so thanks to Coinbits.com. Now, back to this. Computer World article about tablets. They're talking about tablets priced under $100 with Android 4.0. You were saying that's obviously, it says in China, so it's under $100, maybe $99 if you're in China. But this technology, delivered in the U.S., what is it going to cost?
Well, I don't know, shipping plus whatever the profit margin people want to do, and that's the thing. Like, if you look at it, all corporations do is they are the middleman essentially. Like, they don't make the stuff, they package it, they rebrand it, and they sell it to consumers like us. Mm-hmm. And in this whole presentation, one of my point is to providing potential peer to peer, and that's one of the goals where removing all the middlemen, you're removing the corporations, you're removing the redistributors, and you're going directly to the manufacturers, people with the things that you want. Like, you need somebody's skill set or whatever. In the future, where banks are replaced by Bitcoins or by you and people like you, and you can pay everything and anything with Bitcoins, mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. That's what essentially we're trying to lead into this by building infrastructure. A month ago, I went to the Bitcoin conference here in New York and heard what everyone's working on and thought, well, the software will come, right? I mean, it has to, but what about the hardware? Like, if you're going to become a cashier at some restaurant, you got to learn how to use the cash register. And with that in mind, and I began my quest to find, and what I encountered was that, well, there are cheap capital solutions over in China, and they're already now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what do you think is the solution to that?
Well, I feel that it has to be compelling enough. I mean, Amazon Kindle Fire just recently released the $199 reader that's been selling big, but I think that you could go even cheaper than that. And what I found out is that we always knew that, because China makes everything, that it's definitely going to be cheaper over there. But the question is, how cheap was cheap? And I found out that, well, you could get a very impressive spec of a tablet for fairly little amount of money, say under 150 or maybe even under $150. And that could, facilitate as a point of sale system with a customized Android ROM, and it will be, just good as for everybody.
Right.
Now, even if you're not into Bitcoins, I feel that these tablets are, they really sell themselves due to the fact that they're so cheap and versatile. And I feel that a lot of people will want one because that's what people need at the moment.
Switch over here to my screen, Ed, and I want to show you. This is an article from Computer Times throughout the show. So keep watching, and this is a new feature we're gonna do every day. We're gonna give away Bitcoins every single day. So keep your phone aimed at the screen. You have to watch like this, all right? But anyway, today's guest is Yifu Guo, co-founder of Bitsincom. And we have major news about tablets. Tablets for everybody, but especially for Bitcoin, so hang in there. Hey, welcome. We're back. So today's guest is Yifu Guo. Yifu, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Bitsincom, you did a presentation recently, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, so give us the executive summary. What was it about?
Well, other than talking about, I'm going to skip over how our monetary system is terrible and how Bitcoin is the next big thing. But majorly, see, Bitcoin has a problem, and what that problem is, it's designed for a future that's not here quite yet. It's designed for a future where internet accessibility is widely available, and internet accessible devices are cheap. And, in a future.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this goes hand in hand with what we're doing here. I'm working on a thing we call Bitcoin Promote, which is two things. One is liquidity, making it easier to buy Bitcoin and sell Bitcoin, and also the merchant services, which I call BitcoinSolutions.com, where we're actually on Saturdays, there's a group of us volunteers who are going door to door, merchant to merchant, and selling them on the idea of accepting Bitcoin and why they should. We're going to try and build a community. I was telling you last night we're going to try and I'll call it Bitcoin villages or something, but a community of neighborhoods of that may have 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 businesses of all kinds of businesses that accept Bitcoin. And one of the challenges that we have is that the cashier has to have internet access. They have to have an app, a browser, or whatever. At the very minimum, they have to have internet with a browser. And so that's where you guys come in with this idea of a real lightweight, affordable tablet, and it has Wi-Fi, right? Or you can plug in a USB internet. Yeah,
totally. I mean, there's the cool thing about generic OEM-based tablets that they have these extra features such as like HDMI out and USB host, which essentially allows you to plug in USB devices such as a USB to Ethernet adapter or a mouse and keyboard or a USB hub, and generally allows you to do a bunch of stuff because underlying Android is Linux.
Today's episode of the Bitcoin Show is brought to you by Mt. Gox and the Thank You Economy book and carpeviem.com. Hey everybody, welcome to the Bitcoin Show. Today we have several things going on. So many things are going on, it's like crazy. We're taping several shows today, in fact. But one of the things we're going to do is we're going to start a new program we're calling the Bitcoin Fire Hydrant Free Money Giveaway. Okay, so get your Android or your smartphone with the barcode reader ready and aim it at your screen if you're watching live. Or even recorded, because if those people are watching live are too slow, you might be able to pick this up even on the recording later. But anyway, get your scanner ready, aim it at the screen, and when you see a QR code, you're going to get free money. So we're gonna have a QR code displayed on the screen live, which is going to be a Mt. Gox voucher code. And if you don't know how to redeem that, go to mtgox.com, create a free account if you don't have one already, and then you do funding options, add funds, Mt. Gox redeemable code. You'll paste that redeemable code right into that box and hit redeem. If you have the app for Android, there's a redeem code button right on there, so you can scan it and hit redeem even faster, and you'll beat the other guys. So whoever redeems it first, it can only be redeemed once, but we're giving away free Bitcoin. We'll be doing that several times.